You have a kind master. Hey, Mutt?
I'm sorry.
I found out some interesting things about those murders. Just like you said.
That's wonderful news. I promised Catherine we'd wait for her.
You know Catherine?
She came to see me soon after you did, and started asking...
Will you send for her? So, we're all here.
I hope nobody else shows up. How did it...
I reckon I've found out all I can.
And do you know who the murderer...
Not exactly.
I've asked around a bit, and...
Is that so? See, I was trying to recall some more details.
Oh, I didn't do all this for nothing, did I?
Well, well...
You can't be
Uh-huh. And who do you think it was?
Prokop. I'm sure of it.
No. Really? That's impossible. It couldn't have been him.
So I see we disagree. Too bad. We could have been done with it quickly.
Well, who do you think it was, then?
I'm not entirely sure. First, I'll...
Go on, then.
Let's talk about Yarka.
What did you learn about her?
Prokop didn't just raise her out of the goodness of his heart. He was actually her uncle.
Really? But he still could have killed her.
His own relative?
Why not? He's a priest. I'm sure he knows the story of Cain and Abel.
Prokop also admitted that he didn't know how to handle her. And perhaps...
What do you expect from a Bible thumper? Man punishes and God forgives. It never occurs to them that if man didn't punish, God would...
Well, maybe I wouldn't hold it against him. He really tried to make sure she was well taken.
And did you learn who he...
No. I think it fell apart when Yarka started working for the von Groller family, where she remained until her death.
I was there to ask whether she'd given them any trouble, but they said she was always thorough and reliable.
Ah, so what's the story with von Grolls?
A very wealthy and important family. The mother is quite devout, known to spend a lot of time in prayer. Old von Groller's been sick for years. Can't even get out of bed.
So, who runs affairs?
That would be young Hendel. They say he's quite successful.
Before her death, I heard she often went to dances.
There's nothing wrong or surprising about that.
Maybe. Prokop was convinced that she went to see William. That was actually the only...
That doesn't mean it.
It means she had some relationship.
And now, most importantly...
I didn't know that.
To make it impossible to tell she was pregnant.
May God forgive us.
Do you know who she was pregnant with? Because if we know who...
She didn't tell Prokop.
It had to be someone from those dances.
Prokop is convinced that she was murdered by that bard, William.
And I agree with him. I heard the daughters of important men come to see him. It even went so far he had to flee the city. And the moment he's back, there's another murder.
Really? But I found out you accused Prokop first, Lumir.
What? Why?
It doesn't matter. It was...
And were you as sure then as you are now?
I don't think, but he's a skirt chaser. If he...
Perhaps. But why would he...
But then he could never come back.
Why not? He could come back a year later, once things have died down, the child would be born, the shame forgotten, and nobody would bring...
I suppose that's all I was able to find.
You still found out more...
But it's not enough.
But we can agree that she was killed because of her pregnancy, can't we?
Agreed. Somebody got rid of her.
I'm sure William wanted...
William isn't the only man with a prick. And he certainly didn't use it to strangle her to death.
Such language. What are you trying to say?
that William isn't the only man in the city.
I'm not saying it couldn't have been him, though I don't think it was.
I suppose you're right.
I managed to find Stanya.
Alive? You found...
I did. Alive and well.
So, she's not one...
She is. She just managed to... She said she was attacked on her way home from the baths. She heard somebody talking in a side street, but it was empty. But when she walked by, someone grabbed her by the throat and started strangling her.
And how did she manage to get away?
She was holding an empty pitcher, and she smashed the killer in the face with it. He either got startled or hurt.
Did she get a look at him?
No, she didn't stop to find out. Just ran.
And what about the blood in the bedroom?
She cut her hand on the broken pitcher. She didn't stay in her room for long. She was still so scared that she grabbed her things and ran off to her beloved charcoal burner. She said she returned from the baths in the evening regularly. And so
You mean someone followed her?
Who knew that she went to the baths?
apparently everyone in the tavern. She also said she was sure it wasn't Mole. Well, according to Stanya, the murderer had a terribly...
Doesn't almost every man have...
Depending on what they take in hand every day. A tankard, a quill, or a hammer.
Except none of our suspects are miners or blacksmiths, eh? According to Stanya, the murderer didn't say a word the entire time.
That's strange, right? I'd expect him to at least call her a whore.
The only word he uttered was when she smashed him in the face with the pitcher. He said Scheisse.
So, we're looking for a German?
Even I say Scheiße sometimes, and I'm not German.
Besides that, she also recalled hearing two voices in the alley. Someone was talking to the killer.
So we have a witness. Now, just to find him.
Or an accomplice. If I remember correctly, the other one must have seen the whole thing, right? And he didn't go to report it.
I asked Stanya if she knew Prokop.
Maybe she just doesn't remember him. Or he gave a different name, or...
I don't think Father Prokop is the type to frequent the worst tavern in Kuttenberg.
Stanya admitted that she knows William. He flirted with her and tried to get to know her better.
And that's probably why I wanted to kill her.
Well, perhaps, but Stanya doesn't think so. She's sure it wasn't William, and no matter what they say about him, in her eyes he's a good lad. And that's all that Stanya told me.
I'm so glad that girl...
Me too. At least someone's had a little luck. Does she want to come?
I don't think she'll come back. She's so scared now. I managed to find Zdena.
You found her?
No,
And where did you find her?
pretty far away. Near the mill she used to... Someone caught her in the forest when she was coming home with a load of coin and killed her. I reckon she put up a hell of a fight. So the killer got nervous and ended things quickly.
So he didn't strangle or mutilate her.
She'd been lying in the woods for a long time, so I couldn't really tell. But he definitely didn't have... Judging by what her accomplice said, she robbed someone good. She had... And what's odd is when she was murdered, the killer left her basket of valuables behind.
So I reckon he didn't kill her for the money.
She said someone followed her on horseback from Kuttenberg. She tried to lose him, but apparently wasn't able to.
On horseback? I don't suppose she described him, did she?
Only as a wealthy type who never got too close.
That doesn't fit in with the previous murders.
Father Prokop came looking for Zdena and nearly cursed.
What did he have in
He
common?
had also looked after her, but unlike Yarka, she ended up on the street, and he took it badly. Zdena tried to rob young von Grolle. It's possible she succeeded.
Von Grolle? Yarka worked for them, didn't she?
That whole family is suspicious.
Assumptions. Nothing more.
I'd say it's pretty obvious. Why else would I have found that ring on her?
They just left the ring by her body.
It wasn't by her body. It was inside of it. I don't know if she's...
Ah, that's awful.
My mouth is starting to hurt.
So are my ears.
Come now, we're nearly there. We just need to find our...
I suspect one of the Von Grollers.
What leads you to think that?
Are you sure it wasn't William?
Yorka was their maidservant until she started rebelling, right?
Yes. Do you think she was rebelling because of someone in particular?
Perhaps the young...
That's possible.
Alice had a young and wealthy suitor. And young Von Groller fits both descriptions.
True, true.
Yorka was pregnant. And if the father was young Von Groller, it would make sense if he got rid of her.
Sakura.
But William could have fucked her too. Just saying.
Zdenna robbed Von Grolle.
That's true.
It's all coming together.
Zdenna was followed by someone on a horse. Von Groller could afford a horse.
That's not so sure, is it?
But it certainly worsens the case for him.
And that's all I can pin on.
So, do we agree that it was young Von Groll?
Well, old Von Groller can't do much now, can he?
So do we really agree that our most likely suspect is young Von Groller?
Aye.
I don't have a problem with it. Little rich boys are capable of anything. But what?
They'll just laugh at us without some...
So, you want to search their house?
There's nothing else we can do.
We have to find some evidence. None of our conjecture.
You could sneak in there.
Or break in?
Catherine, that's not necessary. The young lad wants to learn swordsmanship, and the old one is sick and always calling for a physician.
So I can either pretend to be a sawbones or a swordsman, or break in.
You're a clever lad. You'll fit.
sloop.
Greetings to you.
This one's must have cost a pretty groschen.
Slowly. Nice and slow. Whoa!
A fine day for...
Eh?
Naughty with you.
Who's opening that? Huh? What is it you need? Don't you want to leave already? What is it you need? What is it you need? You better go before people start to think you're trying to steal something. What is it you need?
What? There's nothing here for you.
Come on then, let's sort this out.
We can work this out.
You won't.
Hang, I was just fool. I certainly wouldn't want to. After all.
What? Well, let out.
Is this the house of the von Grolle family?
Yes.
I'm Henry of Skalitz. Master Menhard from Frankfurt sent me to train young Master Hendel in sword fighting.
I'm sorry, but
Are you telling me I'm not expected?
No, this is surely my mistake. But isn't it a bit late? You won't get my
When should I come then?
best before noon. The young master will be well rested. Care, friend.
what are you doing there? Come on then. Let's sort this out.
That's it. What an occasion, eh? Will you go?
Slowly.
I reckon I'll have a look.
Nice and slow.
Jugs for sale, fair prices,
What would you like?
When we catch.
Whoa!
What's the matter? Have you been fighting again? Aye. Today?
What the hell? That's hair. All kinds of brown. I bet it belonged to those dead girls. If this isn't proof, nothing is.
Slowly. Nice and slow.
I need to discuss that visit to the Von Grollers.
Excellent. Let's find Catherine.
I think we were right. Something seriously fishy there.
Well, don't keep us in suspense. What did you find out?
You found something there, didn't you?
I certainly did. In the young lord's room.
What was it?
This. He had it in a chest in his room. Locks of hair. All brown, but all a bit different.
Hair? But that's not enough.
Why wouldn't it? He took them as a keepsake from the dead girls, as a...
But nobody will believe us. We need more than just hair. A bloody dragon.
To be honest, I don't think we're going to find anything like that.
Damn it.
And what about 3 witnesses at once?
Where are you going to find 3 witnesses when you don't even...
I don't yet, but... Look, we're almost certain young Hendel did it. So what if we set a trap and catch him in the act?
And how do you want to do that? I mean, we don't know who he's planning to murder.
We'll set someone up.
You want to sacrifice?
No, nobody's going to get hurt. We'll be keeping our eye on her the whole time.
The only one I can think of is Stanya. And I highly doubt that she'd want to...
She won't have to.
But you haven't had anything to do with him. He'll see through it immediately.
We'll wait until the lad's out of the house. Maybe we'll dress Catherine up a bit, and she'll go asking for the young lord, father of her child. When Hendel comes home and hears what happened, he'll come looking for her to...
I'll cause such a scene. They'll be talking about it for years. Then we'll tell them where he can find me, and we've got him.
If you say so. But where can we do it? We can't do it here. They'd figure it out pretty quick.
We can use one of the rooms here in the tavern. It has only one way out. You'll be hiding across the way, and jump out at the right moment. I repeat, at the right moment.
Don't worry. We won't take our eyes off you.
Where's Hendel? I need to talk to him! Do you hear me? I have to talk to him about our wedding. I won't be left alone with his child.
What are you screeching about, you ninny? There's no Hendel here. Certainly not for the likes of you.
Do you hear that, folks? He fucks me from all sides. Gets me with child, and now he doesn't want to know me. Get rid of her. Disgrace. Oh, so a poor woman has to suffer because of a man's lust. As if it wasn't already bad enough before.
What lies are you spouting, you strumpet? Goodman Hendel never laid eyes on you. Besides, you're too old for him. Nobody will believe your lies.
Old am I? He came to me himself because he wanted a mature woman to breed with. And he never even pulled it out. And he filled me up like a skin. Ha! Suit yourself. I'll give you some time to think it over. But either you come up with an offer of marriage by evening, or first thing in the morning I'll go to the bailiff. And I'll be damn sure to get justice from him. It's open.
I've come to talk with you.
Where's Hendel? Hendel? You wanton whore! Debauching my son! A nanny goat like you! The others were at least young, but you! Oh, Christ, the trials I have to endure! A husband with both feet in the grave and a son who'll fuck anything with a hole in it. Slice her up so no one will recognize her, and in case what she says is true, gut her too.
Gutting, is it? I can help you with that.
Get that bitch, you fool!
You're gonna die! Ha!
For glory and carnage, die!
Just kill her.
Why not?
Catherine, wait.
What should I wait for? I'm gonna cut that bitch's throat.
How dare you? Hands off, you heretical scum.
Shut up.
Let her speak. I have some questions for...
I'll tell you nothing, you serpent. Nothing.
If you won't speak now, then the executioner will loosen your tongue when your feet stop burning. But why wait, right? I'll cut your ear off. Maybe both of them. All you need to talk is a tongue.
No! Let me go!
And what about Hendel? Did he know what you were doing?
That I was taking care of his immortal soul and eliminating his temptation? Of course not. But one day he'll be grateful to me for it.
He's going to jump for joy. His mother a madwoman, and his servant a murderer.
Speak politely to me, you whore.
Henry, if you have any more questions, you'd better ask them quickly.
And what about the hair in Hendel's chest? You're trying to tell me he was...
Well, he kept asking about those whores of his. So we always brought him a lock of hair. We told him it was from them, as a parting gift.
Well, he didn't find that strange?
Out of sight, out of mind. He always found some new harlot anyway.
Do you realize you also killed girls who had nothing to do with Hendel?
That's not possible. I saw them all with my own two eyes, chatting with him and giggling.
And what about that alehouse wench?
That strumpet. I saw how she treated him. It's a damned shame she got away.
But she really had nothing to do with Hendel.
She wouldn't have smiled at him the way she did if she didn't want to fornicate with him. They all... And better sooner than later. That trollop in our service even got herself with child. And she wanted to keep it.
And what about Zdenna? All she did was rob him.
She fawned over him like all the others. He even gave her a ring, which she deserved it. She was a thief, and stealing is a mortal sin.
Why did you do it?
Don't blaspheme.
Come on, answer.
My husband. He drank a lot, ran around with whores, and didn't pray enough. And God...
And why kill those girls? Why not just talk to him about...
I tried, but he wouldn't listen to me. He told me he wanted to sow his wild oats before finding a wife.
So your own son didn't listen to you? And you started killing the girls who were...
Who seduced him and emboldened him with their brazenness? If they wanted to whore themselves out, they'll pay for it in hell. But there's no way they were going to drag my handle there.
There was no blood where Alice was found. Where did you kill them?
That was up to Thaddeus. He told me something about an abandoned barn. I only told him to cut them up thoroughly.
Why?
Why? As a warning. So those whores...
I better stop asking questions.
Burn in hell! All of you!
What'll we do with her now?
Let's take her to the bailiff. She'll get justice there.
We don't have to go anywhere. I'll give her justice right here, right now.
But we can't do that. She has to go before the court.
Did you hear her? I mean, she hasn't got her head on straight. And what judgment will there be? She's from a wealthy family. Nothing will happen to her.
Don't you dare judge me. Only God can do that.
Shut your mouth, you sow. You judged and punished some random girls, and now you'll blaspheme like that?
Our Lord directed me.
Do you hear that? And you want to...
But that's not justice. It's murder. Henry, won't you...
I told you, don't you dare judge me.
Lumiere, listen to her. If we don't deal with her ourselves, and then they let her go, then... Do you want to have that on your conscience?
But, I mean... How could I live with myself if we kill her in cold blood?
I'll show you justice. You're all going to end up in hell.
Your conscience will remain clear. You won't be the one killing her.
But still, if we don't punish her according to the law, then...
Huh. We aren't the ones walking around the city killing random women. On the contrary, we're making sure no more will die.
All those whores! Hell! Lucifer everywhere! Fire and brimstone!
It's just not right.
It isn't right, but it's necessary.
All right, all right. Do it then. But I wash my hands of it.
No! Don't you dare! You hellspawn! No!
Well, now, someone has to explain everything.
Not me. I'd rather just get out of here.
I'll go. I'll explain everything. And you, Henry, wait for me at home.
Fine.
Good, good. I hope...
Well, this was a lot stranger than I expected. Do you think we did the right thing?
I'm not sure of any... Can we just be quiet for a while?
As you wish. But still, it was damned odd.
Aye, that it was.
Tell us, Lumiere.
Did it end well?
It ended well, and I didn't even tell anyone about you.
I'm surprised you got away with it.
I would have preferred a different ending, but... Fuck. What happened, happened.
Lumiere, don't be angry anymore.
I'm not angry anymore. And I must admit that maybe it was better this way. If they were still alive, there'd be a lot more squabbling. But like this...
The dead approve in silence.
Precisely. I just told them I spread the word that one victim survived and where she was hiding. And I waited for them there. And when they came to kill her, we had no choice but to end it that way.
And what will you do now? Will you go back to the town hall, Lumiere?
It's true I've made amends in the eyes of the law, but I probably won't go back now. Maybe better to write something about it. Who knows?
Won't you go back to drinking?
No, it didn't help anything, did it? If I had just persevered instead, I might have...
Don't fret. It was a terrible mess, and all three of us had to put our heads together.
Yes. You helped me when I was in need, and didn't even know it. Maybe I'll just...
Helping others is the best thing a person can do in this world.
And what will you do, Catherine? Will you stay here?
My work isn't done yet. I have to work in the tavern here, and then we'll see.
Do you think we could have done better?
Everything can always be done better, but most...
Catherine is right. I'll still be kicking myself. Maybe to my dying day. But none of us did anything bad.
That's annoying.
I'm talking about innocent people. No more girls die because of you.
Well,
Thank you, lad. You prevented future murders. And you also saved me. And for that,
I thank you both. Without you...
Here you are. As a keepsake. And perhaps as a reward. And if you ever pass by, look us up.
Yes, here is a reward, Henry. And Lumiere, we shall certainly meet again.
I don't under...
We women...
What?
No, you rogue.
It'd be good to learn if...
I can't now.
I'd like to learn...
I can't now.